Now, when we start our chemo-mechanical preparation or the step-back technique, after taking the radiograph, the first initial binding file is the file, most of the times, the one that you take the radiograph with. Most likely is K file 15, not less than that. And when you need to do a master apical file determination, you have to increase the size of the apical part of the tooth 3 sizes larger of the initial binding file. So the master apical file is the initial binding file 3 sizes larger, which means that after 15 we go to 20, then from 20 to 25, then to 30 K file, up to the full working length to do the apical preparation of the tooth. Always make sure when you do your apical preparation is with watch wind movement and filing motion outside. Don't forget to use your irrigation in between to remove debris when you do the apical enlargement of the tooth. Now, after K file 15 up to 25 millimeters with watch wind movement, I always use the irrigation to clean the tooth from debris. I go to the next file up to the 25 millimeters as well, which is file 20, watch wind movement. I go out with irrigation until we reach our second file, which is 25 up to 25 millimeters. How do you know that you need to move to the next file? Is by feeling that the file is loose and no longer binding to the apex to the full working length. And then you do as well irrigation all the time. And then we move to the last file, which is 30. In 30, you should feel a little bit of resistance, which means that this is our final file or the master apical file. So by the end of master apical file, you should have 2 information. First one is your working length, which is 25 millimeters, which is the corrected working length. And the second part is the master apical file size, which is 30 size K file. Okay. Now in the step back technique, we move 1 file larger every millimeter shorter. So 30 K file go all the way down to the 25 millimeters. The next file is 35, goes to 24 millimeters. 24 millimeters. This is K file 35. And this is K file 30. So this K file 35 goes up to 24 millimeters and not more with watch wind movement, and you go out with irrigation to clean the debris. And then I move to K file 40 up to 23 millimeters. I use the same movements, watch wind movement, brushing the walls, 3 strokes, and then I go out and I apply my irrigation again to clean the debris. And then I move to 45 up to 22 millimeters with the same motion as before, and then up K file 50 to a shorter length, which is 21 millimeters. So the term recapitulation is used when we insert K file 15 to the full working length between our step back files, and this is to ensure that the canal is open and not blocked, and there is no dentine mud already created by our step back files. So when do we stop our root canal preparation? It depends. Each tooth has different criteria. At least 2/3 of the root is mechanically prepped or should be prepped. For example, in our case, we had this canine of 25 millimeters long. We need to prepare up to 17 millimeters in our step back. So from 25 to up to 16 should be prepped with step back. Or we stop when the files are getting loose inside the canals. when we go coronal to the tooth, the canal becomes really wide, so the files stop being engaged with the root canal walls, and that's where when we stop, especially in cases where the pulp chamber is large or the patient is young. This space becomes really wide, so the files will not engage to the walls.